Hey, it's Dr. Danyo from North Atlanta Hair Restoration. Thanks for joining my podcast, Hair Restoration with Dr. Danyo. And today I've got a special guest, my friend Charlie Morris.
What's going on, Doc?
It's amazing. We've known each other for
20 plus years?
Yeah, 20 plus years.
20 plus years.
I can call Charlie a true friend, a true mentor. He is my personal trainer. He's been so on and off literally since 2003. And he's put me through some tough workouts, but he's got an awesome life story. And we're going to do a little mini series together because, Charlie is one of these guys that when you meet him, it's really electric. He has such a great story of perseverance and overcoming challenges. This guy was just given a national award for being the #1 wrestling coach for youth wrestling in the country last year. And he can talk about that. But he's got a super youth wrestling program, and he was an All-American wrestler when he was in college. So anyway, Charlie, great having you on again.
My pleasure, Dr. D. It's an honor to be here. Like you said, we've known each other for quite some time now.
Yeah.
It's been one heck of a journey, and I appreciate the kind words that you had to say about me in the beginning. It's true. Growing up in the Bronx, I was All-American in college, and I happened to become the National AAU Coach of the Year last year, which was a great honor in itself.
You had kind of an interesting childhood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm 54 years old, right? Well, I'll be 54.
You are?
I'll be 54 in January. So, I grew up in New York City, right? Was raised in the Bronx. And if you know anything about New York City at the time of the late 80s, early 90s, AIDS and crack was killing everybody. It ravaged my family. I saw the damage it did to my own family. I witnessed drugs, but we survived. I was resilient. Thankfully, one of the things that happened to me while I was at DeWitt Clinton High School was a man named Martin Wasserman decided to say, hey, man, won't you wrestle, right? I started out on JV football, and it was something to do in the fall, and I walked into this little red room and fell in love, man. That's where my life totally changed, I could say.
Now, he kind of gave you an ultimatum. You could go down this road
yes.
or this road.
Basically, what he said to me, you can either wrestle for me or you can die. And what he meant by die was everybody was, at my age, was either trying to sell crack, get into the crack business.
And you had people coming up to you wanting you to push drugs.
Oh, dude, the way it was is, hey, man, if you give me $200, you'll get a return on your investment every week. And I was like, for real? And, I had some choices. And Coach Wasserman said, you know what? Either you'll live or you're going to die. And he was right? A lot of my friends are gone. A lot of them died at the time. Crack was an ugly thing. But wrestling was my outlet. I was being raised by my mom, single mom at the time. And I was an angry young man. And wrestling allowed me to get rid of that anger. It allowed me to focus on something other than what was going on, right? Things weren't great at home, and I needed an outlet, and that's what wrestling did. And I had a great group of brothers that all wrestled. When I say brothers, I mean the guys from my wrestling team that we just decided we're going to do this thing, and it was great, I got to travel as a young kid. It got me into college. And like you said, I was an All-American in college.
And you went to Hunter College?
I went to Hunter College. And,
where is that?
Hunter College is on 68th and Lexington, downtown in Manhattan. It was a great school. People talk about, could you have wrestled D1 or whatever the case? And I could have. But, I tell these kids today, it's about the relationship that you have with your coach. And Bob Cadenzi, who was my coach in college, also built a great relationship with me while I was in high school. He just poured into me, and he was like, I want you to wrestle for me. And I got to say, wrestling at Hunter College, a small Division III school, was great. We wrestled all the D1 schools, Rutgers, we wrestled Army, Syracuse. It was amazing, It truly was a great opportunity. It wasn't a lot of pressure that these kids have today. And it took me to that next level. And like I said, I was an All-American. I went to the Nationals twice.
That's great.
At
what weight?
167. I was a lot lighter back then, a lot lighter. But it was great. You know, I'm still friends with all my college guys. They are still my big brothers, believe it or not. Whenever I call them up, they treat me like a little kid, which I love. And I'm 53, and they tell me, do this, do that, or, you know.
Yeah. So you've taken that passion for wrestling, and you have your shirt on right now.
Yeah, this is Morris Fitness, MF Wrestling. And this is the Army shirt. And this is one of our national teams, the MF Army. And I tell you what, that passion of wrestling followed me down here to Georgia. And it changed my whole life, right? I got into personal training because of it. I walked into Crunch one day, and my boss at the time, John Mitchell, was like, who is this kid? And he started wrestling with me.
Yeah.
And I started wrestling in the middle of Crunch, just taking him down. And he was like, I want this kid on my team. And that's how it all started. That's how I got into the fitness business. Wrestling got me into the fitness business. It got me into, college. And then it also ultimately got me down here, where I happened to have that same passion and start a youth program almost 20 years ago, and of which has now built up to one of the most successful programs in the state of Georgia, and I like to believe in the country.
You've trained a lot of kids that went on to Division I wrestling.
Oh my gosh,
you've had some national champs.
Yeah, we've had kids compete at every level in college, Division I, II, III, competing in the Big Ten, which is the highest. I like to believe the toughest conference in the country.
And you train girls too.
Oh my gosh! So it's funny you say that. Girls wrestling is the fastest growing sport in the country right now. A young lady, if she starts wrestling, she has a great opportunity of getting a scholarship to compete at the highest level. And I kind of stumbled into it. I started, giving girls their own practice, and my girls like my program is right. MF Wrestling. It's Charlie's MF Angels, and these girls are no joke. They are no joke. They've won the Scholastic Nationals. They've won the Junior Olympics. My man John Sebeck and Kobe Yates are the backbones behind that, and it's a lot of fun, right? We bring girls together that have a common goal, right? We're not about the super all-star teams. We want to give people the opportunity to compete, and that's the best part,
Yeah, he has quite a chant before all the matches, and I got to get him to do this. This is something else. He has well. You talk about it.
So one day we was in practice, myself and one of my other coaches, Coach Khalil, and we said we need some sort of affirmation, right, for the kids to say,
rallying call,
right before they get on the mat, or we say that at the end of every practice, and it goes like this: I am a MF Savage. When I step on the mat, it's just me and my opponent. I control the outcome. I will outwork him. I'll take him down again and again. I'm prepared. I'm focused. My coaches have given me the tools to succeed. My opponent is the prey. I'm the predator. I am a MF Savage. And the kids get hyped. And they repeat that, we give them an opportunity to say MF, and MF stands for Morris Fitness.
Yes.
But
nothing else.
I get questioned all the time, and they said, "Do you put MF on your shirt and on your gear?" And I'm like, Pete Red Hot Sauce. I put that stuff on everything. MF Wrestling. If you see a little, people like, I got to wrestle one of those little MFers. I'm like, that's right. You see us coming. And we tell the kids, be a savage on the mat, be unstoppable. And we get them to believe. And they carry that mantra off the mat, on the mat, into school, and everything in life, So that's what we do for them.
It's awesome. Well, I mean, the other aspect of your business is really the personal training gym. And I see Charlie 2 times a week. Minimum. We've been doing this for so many years now.
Yeah.
I think back some of the workouts. I've said this before. I've done a couple Ironmans before, but he was my strength and conditioning coach through that. And
that was a lot of fun.
He had this tire this truck tire that you'd push across the gym floor and flip, and we were climbing ropes and everything. Everything.
We add a little bit of wrestling to his workout, and nothing's tougher than a wrestling workout. And you get to push the pace a little bit.
Oh yeah. We'd go into the wrestling gym. We haven't done that for a while. But
That's true.
I'll be 57 this week, so I'm feeling pretty good because of this guy. We do a lot of exercises that I really wouldn't do on my own. There's just no way. So,
Oh, this was great, man. This is the introduction.
yeah.
I'm gonna come back and tell you about the ups and downs of what it is to own a wrestling club. We'll get into it when I come back. It really is. We'll call it the good,
Yeah.
the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And dealing with parents and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I look forward to that part.
Yeah, and from my standpoint, so much of our adult kind of professional lives, Charlie and I were taking that walk together, and I've seen this massive kind of creation of who he is as a person in his business, and
Right.
he's actually witnessed the same in my business and,
It's true.
and what I do. And so, anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that, but also really want to focus on resilience. When you look at people suffering from hair loss, and I say suffering because from a psychological standpoint, people can get really kind of messed up in their thoughts, and their confidence starts to lag. And doing hair restoration is a way to intervene in somebody's lives, kind of like Charlie does with his kids.
Yes.
And, to make a positive change, start building resilience, and start building greatness. So anyway, Charlie, I appreciate you.
My pleasure, Doc.
Yeah, and we'll have a great series. Thank you.